Hello there. In this video we're going to go over updating the EON ID when the EON ID has no connection to the internet. In order to do this process, we're going to need a personal computer. We're going to need a link to the most recent file or have already downloaded it. We're also going to need a USB drive and of course an EON ID. If you'd like to request the most recent version of our software for the EON ID, you can always request it at support@kolnatech.com and we'll respond by sending you a link to the most recent version of the software. You can also access this by going directly to our website as seen here. Shortly then you will receive a link to the most recent version of the software. Just go ahead and download this link. Now depending on what internet browser you're using, it might just simply start downloading immediately, or it might ask you to save or open the file. Ensure that you select save and save it to a location that you'll have access to once it's done downloading. Because this file is quite a few megabytes, it might take a few minutes to download. So I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead as if we were already done downloading the file. Once my software is done downloading, I'm simply going to take the file that I downloaded and copy it to my USB drive that I connected to my computer. Once it's done copying to my USB drive, I can then take the USB drive over to the EON ID and I'm ready to install the new software. Now that we're at our EON ID with our USB flash drive, we're then going to go ahead and hit exit on the EON ID and hit exit when the prompt comes up. Now that you've closed the EON software on the EON ID, you're going to have to take your finger and touch the very bottom edge of the EON ID screen. You'll see a window that pops up similar to this one. However, your bar might look slightly different than mine. But go ahead and click on the start icon and click Control Panel. Now you might have a screen that looks like this here with several icons. If not, it's okay, I'll show you what to do in a second. If you have this type of screen, go ahead and scroll down using your finger, use the bar on the right hand side, until you see Programs and Features and open up this icon. If your screen looks different, like this here, go ahead and simply click on Uninstall Program. Now your list might look slightly different than mine. However, you should find EON 3 inside of your list here. If you don't, go ahead and scroll down until you see it using the scroll bar here. Click on it and simply say uninstall. The software might ask you, are you sure you want to uninstall? Just go ahead and click yes. You'll then see a window pop up that says Window Installer preparing to remove. Go ahead and let this complete, and once it's done, we'll go ahead and continue here. Once this is done, we've officially uninstalled our software. So now we're ready to install our new EON ID software. It is important that you make sure you uninstall the old software first, because if you don't, the new software will not install correctly. So at this point, you plug your USB drive into the EON ID, and on the EON ID you will get a window that comes up with several commands. Go ahead and click Open and explore the USB drive. If you insert your USB drive and no window pops up, you can access your USB drive by simply clicking the Start menu again, going to Computer, and navigating to your USB drive and simply double click on it. That'll open up your USB drive. Okay, once you find your file in the USB drive to install the new software that we downloaded earlier, just go ahead and open that file. You may get a prompt that asks you, do you want to run this? Go ahead and say run. And you'll see the software actually start extracting the file. Once the file is done extracting, you'll come up with a window similar to this one. Don't change any of the settings, just go ahead and click Next, Next, Wait for it to go ahead and install, and then click next one more time. Once it's done installing, you'll get a window that looks similar to this one. I'll say PL2303 driver installer program. Go ahead and if you get this window, just go ahead and click cancel. I'll say, are you sure you want to cancel the setup? You just say yes. Then I'll say it's completed. Just click finish. Go ahead and close out your window for the EON ID software. And you should now see an EON logo in the top corner here. You should also have an EON logo down here on your EON ID, and you should be good to go. If you go ahead and go to your start menu, say shut down and restart, the EON ID will go ahead and restart, and you'll have the new version of the software up and running on your EON ID.